Next on Worcester News tonight, a spike of hepatitis A in Worcester is prompting the county sheriff's office to make sure inmates are vaccinated. Plus, Sutton Police officers participating in a challenge in an effort to raise money for fallen heroes. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Olivia Lemon. A slippery commute this morning, but after the light rain and snow we saw, we can look forward to some clearer weather. Meteorologist Michael Page joins us live now with the latest.
As skies cleared this afternoon, temperatures actually warmed up to the upper 30s to around 40 degrees above average, and that milder weather will actually continue into tomorrow as well. There is the clearing trend after we started this morning with just a little coating in a couple of portions of Worcester County, but not a big deal. Most of the snow was in northern New England with this one. And with mostly clear skies now for the rest of tonight, just want to draw your attention to the sky because we'll actually have a meteor shower peaking tonight. This isn't one of the bigger ones of the year, but between 9 and 10 p.m., that's the peak. You may see a couple of what many people call shooting stars in the sky, so just keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, kind of chilly tonight, but not unbearably cold for this time of year, with temperatures in the 20s to around 30 degrees. Sunrise tomorrow, some of our latest of the year. We're in the 30s with sunshine, more sun and mild by the afternoon. Temperatures will be well into the 40s and even close to 50 degrees in some cases. And then we have a lot more to watch for the next couple of days. Saturday showers and a storm next week. More on that coming up in a few minutes.
With dozens of confirmed cases of hepatitis A in Worcester, the County House of Corrections is working to make sure all of its inmates are vaccinated. The infection is most common in the homeless and drug abusers, and staff there say they want to make sure everyone is safe. Our Chandler Walsh joins us live now to explain. Chandler?
Olivia, the Worcester County Sheriff's Office Superintendent says they're doing what they can to be proactive. They say Massachusetts is one of 15 states experiencing an outbreak, and it's something they're following closely. The Worcester County Jail and House of Corrections plans to vaccinate more than 900 inmates amid a hepatitis A outbreak in Worcester. It has mostly affected people with substance abuse and the homeless.
We are concerned. We deal with a population that is very susceptible to, Hep A. Just because of their lifestyle and where they come from and what they do.
Worcester's Division of Public Health put out a health advisory in December, but Commissioner Maddie Castile says the numbers have increased. She says there are 45 confirmed cases in the city and 10 more possible cases waiting on results. They're working to vaccinate people at high risk.
We've given now about 408 vaccinations to date to people in the community, from the shelters to treatment facilities to even residential treatment facilities.
Worcester County Sheriff's Office Superintendent David Tuttle says the jail will start vaccinations next week, but they aren't mandatory. He says there are 936 inmates now, with new arrivals each day. They'll also offer vaccines to more than 600 staff members.
It's such a contagious disease that if one or two people get it, it could spread like wildfire through the place, and we kind of want to prevent that from happening. Plus, we want to vaccinate these guys so when they go back out on the streets too, they're protected out in the community.
Hepatitis A is a contagious liver infection spread by person-to-person contact. Dr. Castile says it's critical the Division of Public Health continues going out into the community to control it.
People can be working in a restaurant, food handlers and all of that, and so it just can continue through that process, and so you want to make sure that it's not there.
Again, the vaccines for inmates aren't mandatory but strongly recommended. Tuttle says they plan to do them all in one morning and begin a system to vaccinate new arrivals as they come. Live in West Boylston, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Charlton's Planning Board denies a proposed marijuana cultivation facility in town at Wednesday night's meeting. The board voted 4-0 against a plan by Valley Green Grow of North Andover. The company had plans to build a 1 million square foot greenhouse for cannabis research, as well as for medical and recreational cultivation. In a statement, Valley Green Grow says it understands and respects the process the planning board followed. They go on to say they will explore their options and carefully consider their next steps. A Northborough man is held without bail Thursday for murder in the death of a woman whose body was found in a car in Hope Cemetery in 2017. 57-year-old Stephen Foley pled not guilty at his arraignment in Worcester Superior Court. He is charged with first-degree murder in the death of Cynthia Webb. Webb's body was found in the trunk of her burning car in Hope Cemetery in December of 2017. Foley is due back in court next month. A 21-year-old Ashburnham woman is held without bail Thursday. Julia Enright pled not guilty in Worcester Superior Court to charges of murdering a former classmate. 20-year-old Brandon Chickless's body was found in July on the side of the road several miles from his car. His blood was found in Enright's treehouse and car. She's due back in court later next month. A group of Sutton Police officers will spend the next few weeks preparing for the 3rd annual Be Fit First Responder Challenge. While it's set to be a fun day, it will also honor fallen first responders. Sarah Roslyn Flaherty joins us now with the details. Roslyn?
Olivia, the challenge raises money for the families of first responders killed in the line of duty. The Sutton officers say they wanted to do their part to help. Officer Joseph Fortunato is one of 3 Sutton police officers honoring first responders killed in the line of duty. They will be participating in the Boston Bruins Be Fit First Responder Challenge at the TD Garden.
We just wanted to do our part to help.
Weymouth Sergeant Michael Chesna and Yarmouth Sergeant Sean Gannon were killed in the line of duty in 2018. In 2016, Auburn police officer Ron Tarantino Jr. was killed during a motor vehicle stop. The money raised will benefit the 100 Club of Massachusetts, a charity supporting the families of first responders killed in the line of duty.
Rips at your heart, and having a family and small children, it's just awful what's going on.
The officers will be competing in a series of obstacle courses. Each officer has to raise $300 in order to participate. The Sutton officers are hoping to raise more than $1,000. Officer Fortunato says whenever there's a tragic first responder death, seeing everyone come together is heartwarming.
The departments do everything we can to pull together and have each other's backs.
Now, this will be the department's first time participating. You can visit their CrowdRise page if you would like to donate. Roslyn Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
The search for a full-time administrator at the Worcester Regional Transit Authority continues. The authority's personnel board is unanimously recommending Dennis Lipka for the position. Lipka has been serving as the interim administrator for the past several months since the previous administrator left. The WRTA first offered the full-time position to a candidate from Vermont Regional Transit who declined. Doug Belanger is the agency's treasurer and serves on the personnel committee. He says Lipka would provide the stability the WRTA needs.
Our expectations, as much as we knew him as a quality individual and knows the system, but to be a placeholder. And what happened instead is he really took the ball. He has been meeting with the political leaders statewide. He's with our city delegation, the city manager's office, and staying very involved. And of course, there's a lot going on at WRTA.
And the recommendation to offer Lipka the position will move to the WRTA's full advisory board on January 17th. National Grid and its workers reach a tentative agreement to end the lockout. Hundreds of utility workers have been locked out for more than 6 months because of ongoing labor disputes. The news comes from a joint statement between National Grid and 2 United Steelworker unions. Details of the agreement will not be shared until both unions have an opportunity to vote. Governor Baker signed a bill on Monday extending unemployment benefits for the National Grid workers who have been locked out of their jobs. The stalemate in Washington continues. Lawmakers still unable to come to an agreement to end the government shutdown. President Trump commenting on the impasse on Twitter, writing he is willing to work with the Democrats. This after a meeting with congressional leaders, during which the president reportedly refused to budge on his request for $5 million to build a border wall. Today, in an exclusive interview with Savannah Guthrie, Speaker Nancy Pelosi discussed how difficult it can be to compromise with the president.
When you're negotiating with someone, you have to know, you stipulate to some fact. It's hard to do that with the president because he resists science, evidence, data, truth. It's hard to pin the president down on the facts. I think and hope that we can work together.
And today, Democrats are expected to pass legislation to reopen the government that does not include new funds for the wall, but that will likely meet a dead end in the Republican Senate. Here in central Massachusetts, the Federal Medical Center at Devens is feeling the impact. Some at the prison say they're risking their lives every day without getting paid. Our Cam Jandro has more.
While the government remains shut down, federal prison FMC Devens is still operating as normal.
The risk to us, while we work inside prisons, hasn't changed at all, but however, for the moment, we're not getting paid.
Michael Guerrero and David Martinez are members of the American Federation of Government Employees, Local 222. They say working in a federal prison is difficult as it is. They and their members have worked the last 2 weeks without the promise of pay, and it's frustrating.
If I don't do my job, I can get in trouble, I'll get suspended. But here we are in reality where the president and the Congress and the Senate have not done their job by passing a budget, and nothing happens to them. They continue getting paid.
Guerrero says FMC Devens has seen a decrease in staff in the last year, which has resulted in correctional officers working double shifts in the prison.
The fact that that happens when we don't get paid is what has upset most of it. All right, so I'm not getting paid, but you're not letting me leave either. That's even more of a morale crusher.
Congressman Jim McGovern says he and fellow Democrats plan to craft a bill to end the shutdown when they take control of the House Thursday.
They're all bipartisan bills, so we ought to vote on them and then reopen the government, and we can fight about the other stuff later. But you shouldn't be punishing 800,000 federal workers.
Federal workers like Guerrero and Martinez, who say it's getting harder to go to work each day.
It affects the morale to know that you could be forced to work, forced to take the risks. This is a terrible time right now, but you still have to come to work and get the job done, because if we don't do it, who's going to do it? So, and they're not just going to let anybody out of the place, I can tell you that.
Cam Jandro, Worcester News Tonight.